Welcome in, everyone. We have another very exciting, fun news, current events topic to talk about, and that is going to be a continuation in the discussion of how Delta Force, other organizations might be used to handle the cartels. There was a very interesting moment on the Anti-Hero podcast the other night. I'm filming this January 31st. They had their Thursday night squadcast. You guys should definitely be subscribing to them. And speaking of which, you should also be subscribing and liking this video, commenting with your thoughts below. But we've had a lot of different hot takes all over the internet. I've done a couple of videos on it. Nate from Valhalla VFT, he did a video kind of explaining why he thought it was a bit of a ridiculous subject. I'd encourage you to all go watch that one as well. And then Brent, obviously a former Delta Force member, he gave his opinion on it, kind of very straightforward about what he thought combat between the cartels, the unit, things of that nature, tier 1 elements with air assets, all that stuff. And he was really talking on a direct hit action, which Nate also kind of made the point of. If that's the call that's made, we're not looking at big picture. We're looking at direct one target. The guys are coming in. What's going to happen? And I'm not going to speak for Brent. I think Brent's comments kind of summed this up. So this is about a 2-minute clip from their squadcast from Thursday night, which would have been January 30th. Feel free to go check that out. I will link that in the comments, or excuse me, in the description below. Let's roll the tape and see what Brent had to say about the subject.
And that's fine. He said we underestimated our enemy. I'd say we never underestimated our enemy. We mowed through the invasion of Iraq. We mowed through the invasion of Afghanistan. We did nothing but crush our enemy. Politics and politicians failed us. And I've said this before. When it comes to nation building, we can't fail. What failed was the people who we depended to nation build. So the Afghans failed themselves. Like, we can't do it for them. The Iraqis quasi-failed themselves, although they're doing better than Afghan right now. But that'll derail this conversation real quick. Just had to put that out. The other thing I have a problem with is with him saying, like, you know, we put those units up against them. Like, these aren't guys in pajamas and flip-flops. Like, it's going to be a bloodbath. Absolutely couldn't be. I couldn't disagree more with that. We never underestimated our enemy. We never got on a helicopter. It was like, all right, boys, we're going to go 50% tonight. It's just guys in man jams and flip-flops. We hit every target as if it needed 100% of your attention, because every mission was a potential of dying that night. So we never did that. And I'm not saying that's what he's saying, but it feels like that's insinuated a little bit.
Because he says things like bloodbath and world of hurt. And like that leads me to believe that tactically we'd be going up against another tier 1 element from Mexico. And I don't think, I mean, I know that they do train in tactics. He kind of scared me.
Gosh, true, yeah.
He said tier 1 Mexico. I just tickled.
So here's the other reality that those cartels, they make a living beating up on the innocents. They make a living as they're more of a terrorist organization, right? What do terrorist organizations do? They hit people when they're not looking. They put car bombs.
Prey on the weak.
They prey on the weak. They are the equivalent of people in man jams and flip flops in Mexico. And if you think they're in the shoot house every day like a tier 1 element, if you think they're on the flat range every day like a tier 1 element, if you think they have the technology and the assets of a tier 1 element has, you're sorely mistaken. We would absolutely wipe the floor with them. Will it be easy? Will there be some losses? Of course. It's a dangerous game.
So there you have Brent clearly giving his opinion as a former Delta Force operator, as a former tier 1 guy. He's not just some bum off the streets like I am. He's not just some random dude who's interested in current events in the military like myself. That's a dude who's been there, done that, lived in that world, is obviously acutely aware of what their capabilities are, what their limitations are. And again, I want to focus on this. The question here is not, is using Delta Force or SEAL Team 6 or Task Force Orange or RRC out of the Rangers or any other tier 1 element you want, just the 75th Rangers, do you want to use them? Conversation's not really about that, what we're debating here. It is, what will happen if there is a direct action call on a target and a Delta Force team is sent in? Can the cartels stop them? I said to you guys many times in a couple of videos, the answer to that is no. That if they show up knocking on the door, knock, knock, hello, is anyone home? And their intent is to neutralize / eliminate whoever the person they're looking for. I don't care how tough the cartels think they are. I don't care about their tough guy, bravado. I don't care about any of that stuff. You're talking about cartel bangers, some of whom have military experience, to be clear. Let's be crystal clear about that. Let's not, run away from that. That's a fair point. Some have military experience. Fine, I grant you that point. Some of them have good training. Fine, I grant you that point. But as Brent said in the clip, they're not in the shoot house every day. They're not on the flat range every day. They're not doing the training day in and day out with the budget that the United States Joint Special Operations Command can put forward. There is nothing these guys want to train and do. You've seen many guys talk about this in interviews. There is nothing these guys want to do that they cannot get funding for. Nothing. If they want to do it, you best believe they're going to be able to get funding for it. Their ammo budget, I imagine, is likely limitless. I can't imagine there's a dude in SEAL Team 6 or the unit who's like, I need some ammunition to go train. And they're like, sorry, we don't have any budget. We don't have any money right now for 5.56. You're kind of on your own. I don't believe that happens. I just don't believe that happens. Now, maybe I'm wrong. If you jump in the comments and let me know if you think Tier 1 elements struggle to get their hands on gear. So you're talking about the most well-trained, well-equipped people on the planet with air cover, outstanding intel, the best night division devices that have ever been invented, and the best gear and equipment that money can buy. And that's on top of the training, because if you don't have the training, you can have all the cool toys. It's not really going to matter, right? You need to actually be able to do the job, and nobody does the job better in direct action, which is what these Tier 1 elements in Delta and SEAL Team 6, before you all jump in the comments and say, well, no, there's other Tier 1 elements that do this. I know that. I'm talking about direct action. There is nobody in the world that can do what Delta and SEAL Team 6 can do. And if you truly believe, I mean this sincerely, if you truly believe Delta Force is going to come crashing down on a compound and get smoked by a bunch of cartel members and get wiped out by the cartel, you're out of your mind. You are out of your mind. Delta Force has been fighting sustained warfare at a high level now for decades. If you want to go back to the 90s, you had all the incidents in Eastern Europe. If you want to go back to 93, you had Black Hawk Down. So let's just go 93. That's what? It'll be 32 years of sustained combat coming up this October if you match it to 1993 with Black Hawk Down. So frankly, I don't have any idea what the hell some people are talking about. Those dudes are going to show up with night vision goggles on. They're going to make their first breach, and the dudes inside the house are going to piss their pants. They have no idea what's about to hit them. They might not even have time to do that before they're dead, which is fine by me. You want to mess around? You're eventually going to find out. So you don't need to take my opinion on it. I was never in the military. I've made that clear. I was certainly never in Delta Force. I've never engaged in a gunfight with anyone, ever. Don't want to. Been near some gunfights. Been seeing bullets, whiz right past me 20, 30 yards away. But I've never personally been engaged. And I don't want to. But the people who have at the Tier 1 level, Tier 2 level, their opinion's interesting to me. And Brent makes it sound, and I agree with him, on a one-on-one level, when they hit a target, there's nothing on God's green earth that is going to stop Delta from kicking the absolute dog shit out of these scumbag cartel members. That's what I expect to happen. That's what I think will happen if it's ordered. But that's not to say that's the guaranteed path the United States is going to pursue here. So in this example, we are talking about a 1v1. We're not talking about is Delta going to take over Mexico. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about in this one hyper-specific situation, can Delta hit a target and come off that target, completing the objectives in front of them? I think the answer is yes. Brent thinks the answer is yes. My guess would be every single dude in Delta you asked would say yes, and I know that because I've asked several of them. If you made it this far in the video, it means you liked what you saw and what we were talking about. So please like and subscribe, and put in the comments below whether you think Delta Force SEAL Team 6 or some other military unit should lead the way against fighting the cartels. I'll see you all next time.